Welcome everyone. Welcome to our pre-full moon garden visualization in Sagittarius 2022. But before we proceed, let's briefly recall the rationale behind the garden visualization. DK told his disciple CDP, he taught her how to create a garden, how to perfect it, and then how to use it. And he also taught her how to dedicate it and to turn it into a shrine of consecration and connect it in her mind with a thought of service. And he told her that which is thus created and used exists. And that on the inner plane, her garden is of service to his group of disciples and to others in larger numbers than she thought. It was a place of gathering for many and a place of refuge for a few. So let us apply these instructions to our group. Let us climb to the summit of our tower, and then let's release the light which is in us. And that will be to the garden of our souls what the sun is to the gardens of the world. DK taught her how to awaken her garden to color and beauty, to arouse it to movement and life, to call forth the song of the birds and the hum of the bees, and to evoke it to a responsive loveliness. So this is exactly what we will do. And there, he told her, I may meet you. And to ponder on the symbolism hidden in the garden, and to work steadily from this center of love and light. So let's continue to build our healing garden as a group at some point within the 12 hours prior to each full moon, as DK suggested, meeting DK there, turning our garden into a shrine of consecration and intending to offer our garden as a chalice for the love of hierarchy to be poured in selfless service to humanity. Let's gather in our garden. First of all, let's align with our own soul. Let's start with a point of soul focus by raising your consciousness into the head, as high in the head as you can. And then carry that consciousness upward through the astral body and the mind, then to the soul by visualizing a lotus fully open and scintillating with light as a symbol of your soul body. And now place yourself right in the center of your lotus, realizing that you, the personality, and you, the soul, are one. And from that point, definitely and consciously, assume the attitude of the observer. Observe your personality below and visualize your etheric body and see energy flowing freely up and down the etheric spine. And now consciously throw soul energy down into the center at the base of the spine, using indigo blue light, the color of the ray of love and wisdom. And now in your imagination, raise it slowly via the 5 centers up the etheric spine, then to the ajna, then to the crown, and up into the soul body. And now say the soul mantra with conviction, knowing who you really are. I am the soul. I am light divine. I am will. I am love. I am fixed design. And now sound one Om as if you were the soul in full expression. Om. The entrance of our garden, we stroll through arches of climbing roses, clusters of flowers in abundance overhead. Choose the colors that you like. And as you walk, let the roses gently caress your face and breathe in their delicate aroma. Small, lovingly trimmed emerald green bushes line the stony pathway. Hear the crunch of the little stones under our feet. Along an embankment at the end of the archway, there are rows and rows of flowers, flowers of different hues and harmonizing tones of reds and yellows and pinks, etc. And as we create these rows, we include our own favorite flowers. The blooms shed fresh petals on the path, creating a soft carpet for us to walk on, releasing their individual fragrances as we step on them. On the opposite side of the embankment, we see right in the middle of our space of harmony a lighthouse, standing tall and strong and shining beams of light in all directions as a symbol of our united soul group. And as we assemble there quietly, we hear a choir of birds fill the space with their clear, melodious notes, welcoming us to this unique space. A chorus of angelic voices sing a soft tune, accompanied by the sound of harps, divas gently strumming the chords. Sitting still around the lighthouse, we feel the gentle warmth of the rays of the sun. And in the background, the breeze softly swishing through the tall eucalyptus trees chants a melodic lullaby. These majestic trees cast their protective shadows on the grass as sunlight peeps through this peaceful garden. Around the lighthouse, we see a large quiet pool of crystal clear blue waters. Flowing from the pool, we see rivulets as we hear the gentle trickle of water. We also see 3 wider streams of golden water flowing steadily, and across them are curved wooden bridges. In one area of the pool float lotuses of all colors in all stages of bloom. Some are in full bloom, revealing their gorgeous jewel, while others are just budding and barely showing their true color, but all reflecting their light in the healing waters. Just beyond the pool, a hidden path leads us to a cozy and serene corner. A few chairs or a bench and a small fountain containing supercharged, vitalizing water, perfumed by a single floating lotus, create the perfect spot for an informal sharing of one's difficulties or words of wisdom. Inhale the perfume of the flowers, imbuing and permeating the air. Everything in this garden quivers with livingness. So invite a few people that you'd like to receive healing. Invite them to this cozy corner. In the distance, we hear the soothing sound of water, and we follow it. We come to a tranquil pool where cascading water gently hugs rocks as it joyfully spills in a blue pool, while bubbles of spray ricochet spiritedly in the air. Lush ferns alongside the rocks, draping in the water, enhance the serenity of the place, while the fiery brilliance of the orange and red leaves of surrounding trees brings warmth and invigorating energy to the area. In our mind's eye, we follow a pathway which leads us to flower beds. They are a riot of spring color, of reds and creams and yellows and pinks, of such vibrancy, winding their way like a gentle living stream among the trees. A row of violet flowers on either side of the meandering bed happily follows the path of the flowers as they release their subtle perfume. Butterflies flutter through the air with their iridescent wings, attracted by the silent serenade of the blooms. They are like the flowers of the air. Their delicate and fragile wings are like floating petals, catching the light and twinkling like diamonds in the air. While buzzing bees surf the open spaces from flower to flower, seeking pollen, which looks like scintillating bright golden pixie dust. Nearby, the soft and gentle babble of the sound of the fountains reach our ears. Lush green grass lines a gentle stream like a soft velvety carpet. The air is full of the sweet fragrance of the flowers in full bloom, adorning the fringes of the streams in this tranquil garden, quivering with life. This garden that we've just created is our garden, our group garden. But let's take a moment to add a little corner which has our individual touch. So add the colors, the unique features and flora of your own country that you'd like to blossom in this tranquil and serene space. Let's now invite the presence and cooperation of the healing devas working under the Christ and Master DK. Visualize them in our garden, enlivening it with their magnetism. Sitting quiescent, our hearts beating as one. Let's link up with each other as we say the healer's mantra aloud together. With purity of motive, inspired by a loving heart, we offer ourselves for this work of healing. This offer we make as a group and to the ones we seek to heal. With eyes closed, but we open our inner eyes, endeavoring to hold our mind unwaveringly in the group light. We know that Master DK too stands steady, pouring out upon us his loving strength, and endeavoring to lift us up into a higher state of consciousness. We're now receptive to Master DK's radiant energy. The light of the lighthouse begins to shine brighter and brighter, intensifying gradually. Soon the light begins to take shape, and a definite figure appears. And in our imagination, it is that of Master DK. From the lighthouse, visualize calm waves of golden light poured by DK, streaming through our harmonious group, irradiating the garden around us and imbuing it with aspiration and ardent, one-pointed desire to serve for the good of the whole. See and feel the intuitive arrow of light of Sagittarius pierce the space, and our group heart Sagittarius is the sign of the one-pointed disciple. The life of fluid response to matter becomes that of the focused response to spirit, and preparation for initiation in Capricorn. The arrow of the mind is projected unerringly towards the goal. The unfolding of human consciousness let loose in Sagittarius is intuition, governing aspiration, soul consciousness in early stages. And the key word is I vision. Kama Manas, or desire mind, controls and influences the life. In the early stages of unfoldment, its focus is upon desire and the satisfaction of that desire. But in the later stages of purely personality development, the focus is upon the control of desire by the mind, the intelligent use of all powers to bring about adequate satisfaction of desire or ambition to achieve some goal or attain some objective. And later, upon the reversed wheel, the goal is the expression of love, wisdom. And this is ever selflessly developed and always consecrated to the good of the whole and not to the satisfaction of the individual. Sagittarius, gradually piercing the heart with his arrows, and then upon the flight of that arrow, the man reaches Capricorn. Let's now ponder on an ancient catechism which all disciples have to master, we are told. And if you have pen and paper next to you, jot down your insights. Where is the animal, O Lanu? And where the men? Fused into one, O Master of my life. The two are one, but both have disappeared, and naught remains but the deep fire of my desire. Where is the horse, the white horse of the soul? Where is the rider of that horse, O Lanu? Gone towards the gate, O Master of my life. Something speeds ahead between the pillars of an open door. Something that I myself have loosed. What is that something that you have loosed? Try and identify it. And what remains to thee, O wise Lanu, now that the horses of the two kinds have left thee, and the rider, unattached, stands free? Now what remains? Naught but my bow and arrow, O Master of my life. But this suffice, and when the right time comes, I, thy Lanu, will follow fast upon the shaft I sent. The horses I will leave upon this side of the door. For them I have no further need. I enter free, regain the arrow which I sent, and speed upon my way, passing from door to door, and each time the arrow speeds ahead. This catechism summarizes the 5 keynotes of Sagittarius. 1. Attached or fused duality as symbolized by the centaur. An attached duality as symbolized by the archer. Freedom or one-pointedness as symbolized by the arrow and bow. 2. Human ambition leading eventually to spiritual aspiration. 3. A clear shaft of light, which is the intuitive and focused attitude of the pledged disciple. 4. The returning arrow of the intuition, for it's the shaft of the arrow of aspiration which returns to the sender as the arrow of intuition. And 5, idealism, which is the power to see the vision and to direct one's course towards it. This is the work of Mars, the expression of the 6th ray. In Sagittarius, the disciple achieves the determination, powered by Mars, to direct his steps into another way of life, and with ardor firm to mount another cross, as the old commentary puts it. One of the major underlying themes of Sagittarius is that of direction. The archer is guiding his horse towards some specific objective. He's sending or directing his arrow towards a desired point. He is aiming at some specific goal. So reflect. What's the specific objective? What are you directing your arrow towards? What are you aiming at? This sense of directional guidance is characteristic of the enlightened men, of the aspirant and disciple. When this faculty of sensitive direction is rightly developed, it becomes in the early stages an effort to identify all soul and personality activity with God's plan. And that is, in the last analysis, the ordered direction of God's thought. There is no true direction apart from thought, DK tells us. And I would have you remember, he tells us, that thought is power. Thought is power. Thought is power. these words imprint on our brain. This is a statement upon which all disciples should ponder, or they can achieve no real comprehension of the direction of God's plan unless they work with a phase in their own life which is subject to their own mental direction. Sagittarius marks another point of balance which follows after the testing in Scorpio. For the archer has to acquire and hold a steady eye, hand, and stance before firing the arrow, which when rightly directed and correctly followed will carry him through the portal of initiation. So let's pause here. Our bodies still, united in heart and mind, and our inner eyes fixed on the goal, the expression of love wisdom. Like the archer, let's stand within, still, poised and focused, with a steady eye and hand, while directing the thought, I see the goal. I reach that goal. Then I see another. Fire our arrow of love and light into our garden, irradiating it with Jupiter's second ray energy of love, animated with a consecrated thought of service. In Sagittarius, the intellect, developed, used, and finally illumined, becomes sensitive to a still higher type of mental experience, intuitive perception. There comes flashes of light upon problems. A distant yet possible vision of attainment is seen. The man begins to climb out of the depths to which he has descended in Scorpio and sees ahead of him the mountain in Capricorn, which he knows he must eventually climb. He walks no longer in the dark, for he sees what he has to do. He flies from point to point, searching for the arrows which he has discharged. He has, figuratively speaking, to dismount constantly from his white horse, the developed and purified personality, and find where the arrows of intuitional aspiration will take him. He travels upon the wings of the soul and becomes, in his own personality, himself the winged god. Mercury, who governs Gemini, the polar opposite of Sagittarius. And this he does until he has established a balanced relationship between the personality and the soul, and can function as either at any desired moment with equal facility. And this takes place upon the path of discipleship and is called the experience of the disciple upon the plains of earth. For the path between the pairs of opposite runs straight and level, leaving the depth of personality experience and the heights of soul experience at this point of development on either side. Second ray influences and potencies are abidingly present and pour into our planetary sphere and life via the Sun and Jupiter. These sweep the forces of Leo, Sagittarius, Pisces, Aquarius, and Virgo into and through our entire planet and all its kingdoms in nature. Our planetary logos, as Sagittarius soul ruler, provides a sphere of experience to the sons of mind, the divine Manasaputras, the Agnishvatas, who are ourselves, to live within his body, to develop the intellect, to control desire, and to transform it into intuitive perception, thus achieving their goal through the light of the mind and through the method of conflict. So let's visualize our lighthouse, symbol of our united soul group, strong and detached in the middle of our garden. As we link with Master Dike at the summit, glowing as a focal point of harmony, directing the arrow of the light of Buddhi in the heart of every blade of grass, every flower and every lotus, every tree, and every molecule of water and of air of our garden. And now that we have imbued our garden with the Sagittarian qualities of one-pointedness, mental power, intuitive perception, and vision of a higher goal under the wise direction of Master DK, let's distribute as the one soul these energies freely and selflessly to humanity. By visualizing the flow of unconditional love and the will to good emanating from the triangle, the avatar of synthesis, the spirit of peace, and the Buddha, powering the Christ at the center. Superimpose this triangle on on another triangle consisting of the Christ, Master DK, and our soul group. Blend and fuse these two triangles to form one blended triangle. Then superimpose these blended triangles on our group chakric triangle as we vitalize it, comprised of our group crown chakra, our group ajna, and our group alpha major, bringing the energy of love and wisdom right down to the etheric level. Place this triangle via our group Ajna, right eye, left eye triangle. Place the blended triangle, impressing it over the 3 planetary centers triangle, London, Geneva, and New York. See the radiating energy of the will to good, pouring out of the 3 points and pouring into the rest of the world. Saying the healer's mantra aloud in a low voice, saying it slowly and deliberately, believing in the results. May the love of the one soul, focused in this group, radiate upon you, our fellow men, and permeate every part of your body, healing, soothing, strengthening, and dissipating all that hinders service and good health. And may they travel upon the wings of the soul and become in their own personalities the winged God. And just like Christ does daily under the pine tree in his garden at sunset, with his hands uplifted in blessing over all those who earnestly seek to aspire, let's picture a great pine tree in our garden. And let's gather around the Christ, Master DK, and the Healing Ashram under this pine tree, saying the great invocation together. And after each stanza, we will sound a blue Om as directed by Master DK. The great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. Oh. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center, which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Now raise your clasp hands above the head and say, "And so let it be," and help us to do our part. Then bring them down to your forehead and let them rest on your heart. And may the blessing of the Christ and of hierarchy rest upon all true servants, and may they stand tranquil in the midst of strife. May the light of the garden of our souls be on the inner plane what the sun is to the gardens of the world, a place of illumined vision, aspiration, and one-pointedness, thus bringing healing and wholeness to many. Thank you, friends. For joining us today. It was such a delight and a privilege to be meditating with you within the 12 hours prior to the full moon of Sagittarius.